Bruins and the Wildcats set to have at it for the 16th time. John Calipari, the Hall of Famer, in his 14th season in Lexington. Here's our starting lineups for both teams. They look like this. For the Bruins, Campbell, Clark, Bailey, Jaquez, and Bona. Wheeler, Wallace, Reeves, Toppin, Tshiebwe. For Kentucky, and Mick Cronin in his 4th season as the head coach at UCLA, his 20th year overall. And when he came to UCLA, Mick said, I got to make these guys tougher. And we saw it 2 years ago start. Then we saw it more last year. We're seeing it again this season as they come in 9-2, and they've had quite a trip this week. More on that. Here's Jenny Dell.
Yeah, we know that flying across country can always be challenging. So when the CBS Sports Classic was put onto the schedule, Coach Cronin wanted to find another East Coast game just to help with the travel a little bit. Initially, they had Villanova on the schedule, but that fell through the cracks. So Coach gave a little call to his good friend Kevin Willard, and they locked in a game against Maryland. On Wednesday, UCLA recorded their first win against a ranked opponent in the terms. And guys, it has been an East Coast experience. Coach told me that on Thursday, the Bruins took an Amtrak train from DC to New York City. It was the first time a lot of his players have ever been on a train. I asked about how the players have really managed the time change, and he said a lot of the guys are night owls, so lights out has been a little bit of a challenge, but they are more than excited to play under the brightest lights here at Madison Square Garden.
Well, they played lights out on Wednesday, 87-60 over Maryland. A little taste of what they're going to face in the Big Ten, and boy, they put it on them.
Boy, they sure. That's as good as I've seen them play. Now, you mentioned that Mick is tough. He doesn't chew nails. Close to it, though. And he has made this UCLA team a tough-minded club. It's permeated the whole team. They are used to him. They know he is a demanding guy, and every day at practice you better shape up. And, of course, on the other side, a keeper. You mentioned the Hall of Famer, a guy that's won at a lot of places. Former NBA coach as well, and of course Memphis, UMass Memphis, and Kentucky every year bringing in some great players.
UCLA had lost 3 of their last 5 against ranked opponents until they put it on Maryland on Wednesday. Kentucky lost their only previous game against a ranked opponent. That was Gonzaga in November. They were ranked number 2 at the time. Gonzaga a winner on our first game of our tripleheader today over Alabama in Birmingham. Randy McCall, Brian Dorsey, and Bert Smith has the ball in hand. Our 3 officials. We're underway. Game 2.
Tshiebwe with the steal there on the tip, but right now, that's the UCLA goes up the
and it's Wheeler against Tiger Campbell.
A lot of ball screens. A lot of single doubles. They call it floppy sets.
Tshiebwe trying to get it to Wallace around his pick. And the freshman almost walked with it. And now there's 6 on the shot clock. Somebody's got to handle it.
Nice help.
Great defense by UCLA on the opening possession for Kentucky, and an up and under on the break.
That's Clark's game, though. This kid is aggressive at the point of attack. Jumps passing lanes. Helps out.
And knocked out of bounds.
Toppin with that dive to the rim, his elevation. Now, this is just one of those, we talked about toughness. That's what this team is about. Give it here. Let's go the other way.
Clark just ripped it out of there. Rip and run. And Bailey scored on the other end. Antonio Reeves to inbound, maybe. Got it into Tshiebwe. The big fella got it to Toppin, who mishandled it. Baseline 3s off the mark.
Jaquez ended up with Tshiebwe, who did a pretty good job sealing and checking out as well. Bona will normally be on him, I believe.
So fresh clock, and Reeves to inbound again.
Clark, and then he switched back. Bona.
Wallace on a runner, got it, and he's fouled by Campbell.
Oh, he makes some amazing floaters. The normal one, the corkscrew ones, the hook ones, just amazing in that lane. That's a pretty good strength here. Tiger takes away the one, and Tiger gets underneath him. Campbell.
So the consensus 5-star player out of Dallas steps to the free throw line, averaging a little under 11 points a game. Hasn't been a great free throw shooter so far this year. Kept alive by Tshiebwe. His hook shot no good. And now ripped down by Bona, and jump ball possession arrow is going the other way.
Got to be aggressive with Tshiebwe. What a great offensive rebounder. He has a feel, an idea, a nose is an expression coaches use for where the ball is coming on. Plus, that ticker of his, he plays every play hard.
He talks about that too, he can tell by the angle the ball's going up where he thinks it's going to end up. In that case, right back in the face of Jaquez as he blocks the shot. And UCLA turns it over.
Wheeler one-man fast break.
Extra pass. Wallace for three. Got it.
How about that kick out? Severe set it up. The dribble drive. 51% from three. That's pretty good, huh?
No doubt. That's his 17th three of the year.
That's not Bona's game out there. He's a screener and a roller.
Sets a screen for Campbell.
Campbell's very good at using the screen and getting the guy on his hip. Nice denial.
Nice overplay there by Tshiebwe.
Plays both ends of the floor.
He works so hard. We're watching practice, and he's the defending National Player of the Year, and he works harder than anybody else.
Well, you get tired watching it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He's just an aggressive performer. I have not met him personally, but all the interviews, he's a charming young guy.
Yeah, he is.
Great presence.
Campbell had a little trouble getting it in. Finally did to Bailey. Bailey short on the three. And put back up there to get it up in time. I guess so. Jalen Clark.
Right in the spot. Nice cover by Bailey on Tshiebwe.
They get it in. Tshiebwe out a runner in the paint.
We got an injury here.
Tiger Campbell. And it was
Clark
that went down hard.
I'm sure inadvertent as they pursued the errant shot.
Here's another look. Clark going to take.
Yeah, get the hand. Yeah. So often that happens. A swimming motion.
And he's up. His coach out there to have a look.
He got hit the other night, too, as I recall, in Maryland. Got to tell Mick I'm not going under the rim anymore. Now look who they bring in. Singleton, one of the great three-point shooters in college basketball. Amazing. Catch and shoot. You got to get on him. They're just checking to make sure it's just a basketball play.
And there you're going to see just the back of the left hand of Tshiebwe. That's enough to put some tears in your eyes, at least.
Yeah, but sure. Or make your family cry anyhow.
So UCLA ball and some full court pressure here already from Kentucky.
Just be careful of Wallace. He can't be loose with the ball. Wallace lines up with Singleton. He knows he's got to be right on him. Any touch, it may go up.
Campbell got around Wheeler. Short on the shot.
Bona, some toughness. Kick out.
Singleton, there's the three that Raph's talking about.
Say goodnight. I mean, such a threat. And more importantly, on a kick out on a rebound. Nice block by Bona.
Reeves. It rims out. Jaquez with a rebound.
Yeah, Jaquez is going to have a little trouble on this end because of the size of Toppin. Now they switch.
Jaquez, UCLA's leading scorer, over 17 a game. He'll take one from about 17. It comes in and out. And Reeves with a rebound.
Nice help. Oh, they got a foul? Bona or Jaquez?
It's going to be Bona.
Nice help from the top by Jaquez.
And Mick's going to go to his bench right now with Nuba. Another 6'10 player coming in. Bona going out.
Talk about anything on that offensive glass. That's a kick out. He gets them organized. This is an unerring deep shooter.
Tshiebwe, baseline jumper. Got it. He's worked on that in the offseason.
He sure has. Extended his game.
The score is tied at 7.
He's still coming back from that injury, too.
That's right.
It's like he's been, each game seems to be getting a little bit better. And then early in the year, Wheeler was nicked, too. So that's part of their dilemma. That's where he's tough. Gets him on the hip.
Tiger Campbell just pushed that thing up from the free throw line. Jaquez keeps it alive. Second chance won't go. And in the battle for the rebound, jump ball. This time it's going Kentucky's way. The National Players of the Year that have come back, as Oscar has this year. Tyler Hansbrough did it, North Carolina. Mark Aguirre, DePaul. You see Bill Walton and Ralph Sampson, you go, wait a minute, you got two different dates here. It's because they were two-time players.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Of course, they stayed 4 years in those days, right?
But Oscar, there's basically only 8. I mean, there's all kinds of things. There's a Wooden, there's the Atlanta Tip-Off Club, there's the USBA, there's the AP, there's, you know.
There's the Nestler.
Yeah, he won all 8 of them. Reeves.
That's his game, too. Tshiebwe, maybe over the top. Mick jumping up and down. Mick got higher than his guys on that one.
Well, we know this guy can rebound, but he has worked and come back because he wants to get Kentucky another national title, and he wants to do things like that.
Welcome back to Madison Square Garden. Now, last Saturday night, UCLA honored the life of former basketball player Jalen Hill. Hill passed away in September while in Costa Rica at just 22 years old. Hill's family was in attendance for the ceremony, which included his highlights and a spotlight on a framed 24 jersey. The number 24 was a theme throughout the evening. The Bruins came away with a win over Denver, and guys, Coach Cronin said Hill's loss is still so hard to process, but they are honoring his life as a team.
Jaime Jaquez wearing that jersey now, number 24.
They became friendly, I think, for 2 years. Very close.
Yep.
Tragic.
Jaime, a senior for Mick Cronin. Seems like he's been around 6 years. Not Mick. Jaime.
Oh, Mick feels like it's 66 years he's been around. Goes a long time with Bobby Huggins. Of course, Coach Murray State, Cincinnati. And what a keeper on the West Coast now. But Jaime, you're right, he has been around. Of his effort. He's got Toppin. He's going to have to drive him, I think.
Singleton has already got 1 3. Here's a baseline. Tough shot by Jalen Clark.
Gets a good defender, too, Wallace.
Top of your Wheeler.
Empty side, ball screen.
Entry pass off the mark.
Tough angle.
And going the other way, rejected by Tshiebwe.
What effort.
Out to Wheeler, 3-on-2. Reeves. And offensive foul.
It was a good look by Wheeler. Maybe he should have anticipated the potential of the charge, too. But Reeves has got the jump stop. And this is just a tremendous effort. Boy, every time you watch him play Tshiebwe, nothing's for free.
Relentless.
Oh, extraordinary. I think 2 of the biggest tickers in college basketball, Jaquez and Tshiebwe, the way they play.
Five minutes in, UCLA 2-point lead. Jaquez on the drive to the baseline. And somehow found a crease under there.
That's his footwork. It's impeccable. Great balance. Sets you up, feels your body.
Tshiebwe gets the offensive rebound and the putback.
He just bodies you, anticipates. Just a great offensive approach to rebounding. And right here, he knew where that ball was coming just as it was released from the hand.
As Raph said, he missed the first couple of games, still rehabbing from the knee surgery in the offseason. Wears a sleeve on that knee now.
I watched their games in the Bahamas and trying to come into form. He was recouping at that point. Doing a lot of commercials, by the way, in the Bahamas.
That's right. When you're from another country and you're in another country, you can do some NIL stuff.
UCLA basketball.
Name of the game, though, on both ends. Both coaches sell that defense. Look at those hands in there, Wallace. Strength and position.
Jaquez in a lot of traffic. Got it out of there to Campbell.
They're going to make you beat him off the dribble out here.
Tiger Campbell, 10 on the shot clock. Wallace takes a run at him. Campbell's going to take the shot anyway and score it.
He's got a nice floater game. Zingerland's going to have to use the dribble, though. They were just hugging him.
That entry pass was a better one, but Tshiebwe's got people all over him, and Kentucky turns it over.
Yeah, Campbell in the right spot, made himself bigger.
There was about 4 blue jerseys around Tshiebwe when he lost that handle of the ball.
It doesn't pay to advertise, huh?
Singleton got another one just inside the three-point line.
And off the bounce, too. 2 of them.
5 for Singleton off the bench.
Livingston on the floor now for Cal. Now they can guard you pretty well with their length on closeouts.
And again, Kentucky. And they're going to say it's still Kentucky ball.
Singleton got his hands in there. But the ability to put it on the deck here, just a little bump. Nuba provides the lift. The rest, pure mechanics.
Bona comes back in for the Bruins. Toppin goes out for Kentucky.
Frederick on the floor now. Big time threat from deep.
Wheeler on a runner up the window. Got it.
How about that? Got to have that in your game at that size.
At 5'9", you better know how to do that, and he does it as well as anybody.
And Bona got a piece of that too, I think. They worked on closeouts, Kentucky, in practice.
Clark, nice turn on the baseline.
They took advantage of size, 3 or 4 inches.
17-11 UCLA. We approach 12.5 minutes remaining first half. Tshiebwe and Wheeler on a runner.
How about that, going to his right? Disdaining that deep shot. He'll bite you once in a while, but that's not his favorite release.
2 undersized point guards, and you know those 2 guys are going to go at it all day long, and Tiger Campbell has an answer.
Well, you heard Cal hollering whip, and that's when you go under on that high ball screen, and they went over and paid for it that far from the floor. Nice hands, Jaquez.
And this time possession arrow is going to go for UCLA. But right after Xavier Wheeler had a runner, Tiger Campbell took it the length of the court and said, whatever you can do, I can do too, my friend. 19-13 UCLA. UCLA by 6 here in the first half. Tomorrow night, a new holiday movie from executive producer Sheryl Crow's is music to our ears. When Christmas Was Young. Tomorrow here on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Pretty good day in New York, huh?
Absolutely.
After all that rain yesterday.
Obi Toppin in the house. National Player of the Year, what, 3 years ago?
Yeah, Dayton. Recovering really from a little nick here and there, I think.
His brother Jacob playing here for Kentucky.
I was reading a note where his brother can kiss the rim. Did you see that note?
Yeah.
And I had another thought. Oh my goodness. How would you like to guard that?
No.
Reminiscent of a guy, Jackie Jackson, was an old Globetrotter.
Okay.
And Jerry Harkness and I were at the Knick camp, and he's telling the story about this guy that tried to guard Jackie Jackson, and he jumped over him. And I'm at the table, I said, that was me. That was me. That's what Toppin reminds me of. Jumping Jackie Jackson, you say, I have Converse, will jump, and Bona would have fouled.
And that's going to be 2 on him.
Got Got to stand still and don't open quickly. Part of the learning process. This kid's going to be a really good player, too. Livingston on the floor, rebounder, has a floater game, can guard that size. Nice play, Jaquez. Gave a cushion.
Too many lazy passes by Kentucky.
Yeah. That's number 6, I think, turnovers.
Jaquez inside, worked his way all the way through that traffic. He just missed the shot, but he didn't the second time.
The kid's amazing. He just pursues consistently. And talk about Tshiebwe's heart around the rim and effort. Just understands the game, pump fakes, comes up empty, but doesn't give up on the play. Quicker to the ball than others.
And now a chance for a three-point play. He'll take it. Averaging 17 a game, which is 6th in the Pac-12 right now.
That game you mentioned about at Maryland, that's as good as I've seen UCLA all year long.
They did everything right. They only had 4 turnovers. They shot 56% from the floor as Wheeler on the drive scored again.
They got him to stand up a little. Jaquez on that switch, the blow by. This is where Tiger's tough, right there.
Yep.
He just turns the corner, peeks, sneaks a peek. It's like he's got a mirror on his shoulder. See where the defender is.
Like every time Wheeler hits a shot, Campbell comes down and hits one, or vice versa. Toppin.
Got worked on that shot. It's still electrifying at the rim.
Reeves, runner, won't go. Jaquez had his hand on the rebound and does handle it.
Tiger knows how to pull it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Pace, tempo, great feel.
Crossover, working against Wheeler, leaves it in.
Nice. How about that?
That'd be a nice dish.
A little lingerie on the deck in the garden.
Nuba
can be embarrassing.
In the scorebook. Double-digit advantage. UCLA.
Singleton on Frederick. They're both similar in their approach. Good shooters from deep.
Wheeler walked.
And again, Campbell took away that dribble lane, created the problem.
Tiger Campbell on the other end. The drive around Wheeler and then the little runner.
Pretty impressive. Great floor leader. Doesn't turn it over. This pass right here, and then the patience at the rim by the big fella.
Bruins have taken the crowd. There's a lot of Kentucky fans in here out of this thing at the midway point of the first half.
Nice curl. Once again, little stack look.
Frederick trying to stay with Singleton. Got the shot off. Really wasn't a shot. It was sort of blocked by Tshiebwe. He got it back somehow, and then he's tripped.
By Wheeler, I think, in the corner. Hurt his foot, too.
Going to retie his shoe.
Now you got to realize how you're going to play all those curls. You're going to tag him. You're going to switch it. You're going to go over the top. And it can be a dilemma with a guy like Singleton who can make a three if he turns the corner. Now he's got a floater game.
UCLA, 8 of their last 10. And Kentucky, 4 of their last 5. So the ball's dropping, but right now it's dropping better for UCLA than it is for Kentucky.
And defensively, UCLA has been sound. Creating a little chaos, turnovers. They'll bite you with a fast break, but they're basically one of those teams that can grind you, can play a couple of ways. And Kentucky's much better in an up-tempo game. They haven't been able to get it going because they can't get stops.
Not at all. The other team won't miss. It's hard to get any kind of transition going.
Tiger and Mick are on the same page, though. Mick can just shower him with praise and then get all over him. It doesn't bother that kid at all.
Jaquez against Tshiebwe, out to Campbell for 3. And nice job by Wallace to track down the rebound. See if Kentucky can get a good look.
I can't even get Tshiebwe established in there.
Frederick around a screen. And
offensive foul. Yep. Wallace on the hand.
Wallace on the screen.
Yeah, they're grabbing that.
Tuesday on CBS, celebrate the season with the Queen of Christmas singing all your favorite holiday songs. Once in a lifetime concert event. Mariah Carey. Merry Christmas to all. Tuesday on CBS. Mentioned earlier, Mariah was in here at Madison Square Garden in front of a big crowd last night for her Christmas concert.
Did you bring a present for me to New York?
I did not.
Just your presence.
Yes, that was good enough.
There's that blur screen. Clubs love to run.
Clark trying to feed it to Jaquez down low.
Clever now. He's clever.
Oh, man.
And he's got Toppin looming big time above him.
You can't play defense much better than that. 6 for Jaquez.
Nice help on the baseline by Clark. He's magnificent.
Now they run, and Jaquez, they tried the alley-oop. That didn't work.
They got a piece of it, too.
Wheeler brings it the other way.
Oh, slip.
Trying to get it to Toppin, who basically saved it from going out of bounds, and then they get a 3 from Reeves.
That's what they need. Some daylight. Gives Reeves some open opportunities. But UCLA, you hate to give up an opportunity in the open floor like they did.
Oh, nice spin. Tshiebwe got a little piece of that and picks up the loose ball.
Does it all.
And then runs the floor as hard as he can, and now gets in the way of Wheeler, or for Wheeler, I should say. Knocked out of bounds. Still be Kentucky basketball after this break, though. 7:38 remaining first half. This guy does a little bit of everything, Rap.
He sure does. Great footwork, patience, a variety of deliveries. Tough. Fun to watch.
Game summary I mentioned earlier. Way too many sloppy passes and turnovers by Kentucky so far. UCLA with a 9-point lead, and Tiger Campbell's been sensational so far, Rap, in the first half.
You know, Brad, years ago they used to have the circus here, and we have a tiger in the house.
He's growling, too.
He has just a great approach to offensive basketball. Nice feel, does a lot of things on both ends of the floor, gets a position, causes the turnover here, and above all, he wears earmuffs so he can turn Mick on and off.
That's important.
But he's a great connection to the bench.
A redshirt senior out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
John looking to get some flow. You mentioned the turnovers. That's part of the dilemma. Trying to rev the game up a little bit.
Let's check in with Jenny.
Yeah, the focus inside the Kentucky huddle was early on offensive rebounds. They said they also wanted to increase communication on the high screen and roll. And as far as Antonio Reeves go, coach said just go out there and shoot the ball. Stop hesitating.
Yeah, they're just not in the flow. Raft and I were talking about that during the timeout.
And a little confidence booster. Starts on this end, I think. See if they can get an easy one going, get a little flow. And look at the little hand check to a guy who's moving his business outside. Jaquez usually gets a piece of that lane and dominates.
Toppin picks up his first personal. Kentucky's got their starting 5 out there right now. And UCLA, with the exception of Nuba, as well.
A lot of guys double that ball screen in that corner.
Jaquez leans in on Tshiebwe and then buries the jumper.
How about that? That is balance. Big time knockdown.
Put a shoulder into the big fella and then faded away and drilled it. We're going to have foul on Clark.
Over the top.
Look at this last shot.
A shoulder shrug, huh? He could have flopped on that.
Yeah.
Maybe gotten away with it.
Well, he's too big and strong. He's like, I'm not going to back up. Probably should have.
Nice denial again. Jaquez plays both ends.
Toppin a little too strong on the jumper. Jaquez a rebound. High Had his man go down, so he just says, I'll take it myself.
How about that? Rebound, bring it up. Doesn't use the ball screen, just a little nine. What do you need, coach? I'll fill it up big time.
31-18 UCLA. Remind you to get nonstop sports news, expert picks, and the biggest highlights on CBS Sports HQ, the free 24/7 Sports News Network. Download the CBS Sports app to watch today. Jaquez has scored the last 6 points for UCLA and 10 of their 31.
It's one of those kids. What do you need, coach? I'll provide the lift here. Chris takes advantage of an opportune basket, but his ability, he's laughing at it. Just all areas of the floor. His effort is just incredible. His understanding of the game is at the highest level.
The angles he takes, everything is just smart. And as you saw, as Raph said, a big smile on his face because the defender slipped and fell, and he was going to try to give it up to somebody else. So, well, I might as well take this shot.
Because you're in New York, it's good to know how to take advantage of angles. Trying to get Tshiebwe involved, but better D.
Toppin has to give it up. Reeves on a runner on the baseline.
Look at that
Tshiebwe,
rebound.
big offensive rebound for Oscar, and then he's fouled.
From the top side, I think. Reach in. Bailey.
It's on Nuba.
Oh, they gave it to Nuba, huh?
Yeah.
That's 2 on the 2 bigs.
Wallace around a Tshiebwe pick. Can't get it to go. And look who gets it again. Reeves, 3. Kentucky can't find it right now from the field. Last touch, they say, by Tshiebwe.
Tshiebwe could not get in there quick enough. I mean, a little quick shot. Let him get involved a little bit more.
Well, he's only got 2 field goals, and one was from the outside.
Andrews on the floor now. Gives Tiger a blow. Runs the show. Going to be a nice player.
Lance Ware now trying to defend on Jaquez, and that was just a loose ball. Hit somebody's hip and came free. Wallace, the no-look over to Reeves. This time it still won't go.
Look at the hustle, Bailey to the ball.
And Wallace likewise hustling to hit the deck. And it's going to be Kentucky ball.
Well, they called a foul diving on top, I guess.
Yep.
I guess it was on Bailey. Andrews joining the club, a little skirmish.
And that's going to send Cason Wallace to the free throw line. The 1-and-1. He missed his first free throw. Came in only 57%. He's 8 out of 15 on the year. Knocks that one down.
He had a great second half against Michigan, this kid. Just a really solid player. They got to hang tough, get collected, stay in touch, get reorganized. Plenty of time to get to halftime. Got to start on the defensive end as well.
Well, if our first game's any indication, you can come back in the second half and make a game of it, because North Carolina came from 9 down and an 11-point deficit at one point in the second half and won over Ohio State in overtime as we missed our first game.
McClendon on the floor now, too. They really are high on him coming off knee injury, as you can see. With that brace on the floor, to make some shots.
Jaquez with Lance Ware guarding him way out on top at the 5-minute mark.
Nice jump. Reeves in good.
Jaquez on the drive. Shot clock expiring. Tshiebwe pulls it down and gets it ahead to Wheeler.
I think that you're going a little bit if you're Kentucky. You got to grow. Another number 3, I think, Anuba. Etienne coming in now. mentioned the knee injury. He's got a problem as well, coming off on his first year.
Wearing a brace on it. And that's it for Nuba for the half for sure. So Oscar Tshiebwe to the free throw line.
That's in a local kid, New York City, Suffolk Academy. That first year out there, had to sit out the whole year.
And Kentucky leaving some at the free throw line.
Now Ware will give him a lot of effort. He'll challenge things and rebound. Giving Huckus a little blow to the media timeout. They really do a great job going side to side, then attacking. Here it goes.
Campbell on the drive, down among the tall timber. Tshiebwe all over him, and the shot clock expires. Good defense by Oscar Tshiebwe and company.
That's a couple in a row. Unusual lineup right now for UCLA. Kentucky can take advantage, I think. A lot of guys haven't played together.
Going to bring Singleton back in. The next stoppage in play. The Bruins.
Show and go under.
Tshiebwe misses a jumper. Good out by at the end.
Well, that's where he is tough, using that early screen. How about that? Come up empty.
Wallace. Boy, they can't find it from three-point land right now. But they get a second chance.
So attack.
And Wheeler had it hit his foot. Saved it, though. Reeves.
Why not attack? Just a couple in a row.
Reeves has hit one, but he's missed several. Kentucky 2 out of 8 from outside the arc.
And keep stringing the defense, though. Only 11 down. There's a little high-low game.
Nice catch and a nice feed inside, and an easy score for Clark, who's got 8.
And that size gives him vision at the end.
Clark and Hawkes have 18 of UCLA's 33. Tshiebwe got around the defender with a left hand.
Pretty good, huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah, at the end, thinking, well, I can't catch him. I might as well shove him.
A little bit of everything by the big fella. He'll go to the free throw line when we come back. UCLA's going to be there. And speaking of UCLA, the basketball team's doing pretty well right now, too.
This kid, since a quality performer, whether it's dribble drive, they're establishing position, knocking it down, defensively, helping out, stopping his guy, going over and challenging Toppin. I mean, that's not an easy task. This kid's a winner. No better way to describe him.
I don't remember the last time I've done a UCLA football and basketball game in a 10-day stretch, but well, I'll get that accomplished before the new year.
You'll have fun. You usually do down there.
The people are great. I love the people in El Paso. A lot of friends down there.
In the old days, didn't Pat Summerall always go?
Yeah, he and Brookshire used to do it. They got lost one time. They weren't sure they were going to make it for the kickoff. They weren't sure if they were in Mexico or if they were in the States. I think Burt Reynolds was with them too, but that's a whole other story.
That's not even name dropping, right?
No,
that's fact.
That's fact. So Oscar Tshiebwe will try to cap off the three-point play. And still having trouble from the stripe tonight.
Even with that rebound, this kid's a terrific athlete.
Nice rebound by Ware.
Yeah. He works.
Wheeler puts the brakes on, gets it out to Livingston. Wheeler wanted to leave it to Tshiebwe and threw it away.
Yeah, trying a little two-man play.
That's 11 Kentucky turnovers this half.
Well, they're fortunate they're hanging around here.
Down by 11 with 11 turnovers. That's why you're down 11.
Got to come back to Hawkes if they don't get anything here.
Daly slipped and walked.
The defense again. Wallace. Stubbed his toe a little bit, but just took away that dribble drive lane, and really good footwork.
Put the brakes on, but skidded. And so back-to-back turnovers on each end. We're coming down to 2-minute mark of the first half.
Kentucky's got to look to close this out with a little more confidence on this end of the floor.
Tshiebwe spins inside, and a tough grab.
Nice play, Etienne. It stays the same way.
It's Kentucky ball.
Yeah.
But Etienne muscled in there with a big fella.
Jaquez was ready to go in if it was on offense.
Wallace will inbound into Ware. Wallace is open, and now he's going to take it inside on the baseline. Did he get the roll? He didn't. Tshiebwe got the rebound. Missed on the putback, but it's covered up by Ware.
Taking advantage of size. Two bigs on the floor for John.
Wildcats get it back to single digits.
Heck in that room. That's their game.
And timeout, UCLA.
Get Jaquez back in. Need the big guy at the offensive end.
Minute and a half to go. First half. 9-point game. UCLA is led virtually throughout. Coming up on AT&T at the half. Adam, Clark, Seth, and Jay will have first half analysis, plus the latest scores and highlights from the top 25. That's coming up. AT&T at the half. Zook and the guys will be along in 93 seconds. There's a Grinch that stole a sandwich.
It's still Christmas yet.
I'm glad we got a couple more days to go.
Exactly. Right now, UCLA sort of coasting a little bit. Kentucky giving them some confidence. I think Kentucky's defense a little bit better.
They could get a stop and another bucket here before halftime.
Just stay in touch. Yeah. 10 or under gives you a little bit of a comfort zone, something to build on. Particularly the offensive rebounding with the size on the floor right now. Chris Livingston as well as Ware and Tshiebwe.
So Jaquez will inbound right in front of the Grinch. Jaquez driving on Ware. A kick out. Three-pointer won't go. Rebound. Livingston. They got the stop. Now let's see if they can convert on the other end.
He zoned up a little bit in the back. They got one. A little 2-3 zone. A little switch.
Livingston rather has a look and buries it.
How about that? Nice addition. 5th one of the year.
Well, that's exactly what the doctor ordered for Kentucky.
Get a little emotion going. Jaquez really had the mismatch he wanted with Wheeler. Nice help by Tshiebwe.
8 to shoot. Jaquez will take it. Missed it 3. Rebound Kentucky. With a half minute to go. Only about a 2-second difference. Shot clock and game clock.
Once again, that 2-3 zone, offensive rebounding. Nice fill.
Ware.
You'd love a guard in there.
Wheeler tried a one-handed pass again, and it got run into some traffic en route, and they turn it over. That's not what they were looking for.
I think he felt he had Tshiebwe here, and a pretty good late denial by Clark caused the error.
It's almost a kicked ball by Campbell, but he got his hand on it instead, I guess. So the final possession is UCLA's. Campbell penetrates.
Steps. Oh, they got a foul?
Yeah, before the shot.
Wow.
It's on Wheeler.
Not over the limit yet. We're going to go back in with Bono maybe for an offensive rebound. Take the gamble.
Yeah, Wheeler got him on the left shoulder, I guess, with the left hand. Right there. As Rapp said, only the 6th Kentucky team foul, so 5 seconds till halftime.
I'm going to get you a whistle. You were on the top of that.
It's just the replays that help. The lob missed.
They had him.
And the clock didn't start right away.
Look who's there, Jaquez.
Jaquez, of course.
Why not? That's his game.
Halftime.
You get an assist to Clark on that one.
The reason the clock didn't start because the ball never touched. Ooh, or did it?
He may have touched. Oh, goodness, they get away with one.
See the clock up on top, stayed at 5. I thought he had a fingertip on it, and it was tipped, but it was not. Let's check in with Jenny and Mick.
It seemed like your defense was able to rattle Kentucky's offense at the start. What did you see there?
Well, they get, in fairness, they missed some open shots in the last 5 minutes of the half. Game's far from over. That's what I would say.
So how do you remain in control in the second half?
Well, I think, look, if you limit Oscar's touches, you got a chance. To me, if you let him get 28 points around the rim, you're not going to have any chance to win. I'm sure they're going to try to get him the ball more in the second half.
Thank you, Coach.
Got it.
So halftime at Madison Square Garden in Game 2. 35-27. We'll send you to Zook and company in our studio for the AT&T half at the half right after these messages. Back in New York, Madison Square Garden, Game 2, half 2 of the CBS Sports Classic. Welcome back to the Garden, everybody. Brad Nessler, Bill Raftery, Jenny Dell is courtside. Fast, reliable, secure. That was Jaime Jaquez, I think, in the first half, wasn't it?
Well, that wasn't the Kentucky turnovers. You can say that.
Yeah.
They really struggled, but he's just such a talented kid. So many areas of the floor that he can beat you. Solid, understand, great leadership qualities. Kentucky a little bit of a run because they play defense. They assert that end of the floor a little more and get the big fella, Tshiebwe, some touches.
They've got to, and the turnover is the key right there, as Bill just mentioned. 12 turnovers is not going to cut it, especially 36% from the floor. And the Coke Zero Sugar first half stats showing UCLA 50% from the floor, 12 points off turnovers. Jaquez was the star so far in the first half. Let's check in with Jenny.
Yeah, Coach Calipari said, I'm surprised we're even in this game right now. He said, if we don't start to fight, this is going to turn ugly. He said, obviously right now the turnovers are the biggest issue. So they're looking to clean those up. He's hoping to play with a lot more heart in the second half, guys. All
right, well, the last time we heard something like that, it was Hubert Davis talking to Jenny at halftime, and they came back and won in overtime. So we'll see if Coach Calipari and the Wildcats can put a little more bite into their second half here against the Bruins.
Yeah, but they've got the firepower. It's just a matter of timing. Shot selection is always a key for any team. But getting Tshiebwe in position, like don't jack it up till he's down there, because he's either going to get a touch or a follow-up on a rebound.
So far, the star of the game is right in front of us to start the second half with the inbounds pass from Jaime Jaquez.
And you can say that in a lot of games.
Ooh, almost an over and back. Yeah, and it was.
Boy, it's so easy. Just throw it back.
There's the extra bobble in the step.
And he did have control before he went over. Wasted trip.
Almost a free possession here for Kentucky. They can take advantage. Lance Ware, who ended the half on the floor, is still on the floor for Kentucky.
But I think he deserves the minutes. That's why he's out there. Gave him some effort. Good screener. They're in trouble here.
Tshiebwe picked up his dribble.
Nice
Did find a man on the drive in Livingston, and he drew a foul.
Jaquez just a little bit late. Hopefully he's okay. But a nice cut, too. Boy, they were in deep trouble here. They did a little bailout on that call.
So Chris Livingston going to the free throw line. Freshman out of Akron, Ohio. Gatorade Player of the Year last year at Oak Hill.
How about in 2 states, by the way?
Yeah.
I read, right?
Player of the Year in 2 different states. One is a junior, one is a senior.
He's got a lot of beverage to consume.
And he is 13 out of 14 of the year from the free throw line. So that's a good start right there. A turnover by UCLA and a basket by Kentucky to get it to a half dozen.
Cal must have seen something in Livingston and Ware. They start them in the second half. Shake the team up a little bit.
Bailey, pull-up jumper. Short. And Tshiebwe takes the ball and was trying to be saved by Bona. Kentucky pushing it. Tshiebwe outside jumper. Tipped by Ware, and it comes free to Amari Bailey.
But Mick just has to look at Tiger. They know what they want. And didn't force the issue. Ends up with a good shot. And no rush. No panic.
He's got a variety of shots. They're asking him to be a little more offensive this year. Averaged just under 12 last year, just under 13 this year, so there's not a lot of difference. It just seems that way. Xavier Wheeler, 3. Got it. Big shot by Wheeler.
That nice kick out, too. Once again, Ware giving them many minutes.
And all of a sudden, there's a little stir at Madison Square Garden from the Kentucky fans who haven't had much to cheer about. Jaquez, double team, trying to get around Tshiebwe. Ware goes to the deck to force the jump ball, and Kentucky basketball. Good hustle by number 55.
Yeah, excellent defense, too, to bottle him up. Hawkins thought he had the jumper, but this is just good basketball. Ware, turn, pivot, drill by the little southpaw. And just at this end, just solid help. Again, Ware in the middle of the mix with his hand. That's why he's out on the floor, giving a lot of effort.
2 6'9" guys with those long arms, and Hawkins had nowhere to go. Now the chance of go big blue for Kentucky.
Now we're in Lexington North. Nice help by Nuba.
Wallace, long step, didn't get the shot. Jaquez a rebound. Bailey pull up from 15.
Yeah, he's got to start making those shots. He's had a couple of really good looks. He's a talented kid.
Campbell, the kick out. They move it around the perimeter to Clark. A runner on the baseline. He's fouled by Livingston.
Nice ball movement, too. Set it up to that open side. Clark taking advantage. Nothing smooth right now, is it?
No.
Herky-jerky.
Jalen Clark, his first trip to the free throw line tonight.
Kid does things effortlessly. Runs the floor. Pretty good off the bounce. Talked about his D in the first half.
6'5" junior out of Riverside, California. Second of 2. Got it. 9 for Jalen. 6 points. UCLA lead.
Really no key guy to go to in this set here with Kentucky other than Tshiebwe loading up in the box.
And to kick it out to Livingston.
He can drive it.
Maybe he got away with a little shoulder there, but he knocks it down.
I sort of like the not call though.
Some of the Wildcat fans. Down to 4.
They do travel.
And they're standing right now for their defense.
Always gets back to Campbell to make the decision.
And his decision to shoot his own, and he got his own rebound. Nope, he had it and lost it.
I think he came in from out of bounds. Talk about the different lineup, and Livingston inserted too because Cal must have liked what he saw. A little discard, a little knockdown.
Ware and Livingston have given the Wildcats a spark here in the second half. Wheeler, the crossover was pretty strong. Livingston in the paint on a runner. Got it.
Oh, what have you done? Livingston, huh? Shown he deserves and wants some time.
Lead down to 2. And a push, not much of one by Case and Wallace.
They got the hands in. They're cleaning that up. Very tough, the quickness of players to put those hands in there. Yeah. Coach, you told me to hug him. He can shoot it.
Pull up from the free throw line.
Good shot, though.
Tshiebwe, strong rebound.
Nice curl, nice find.
Tshiebwe, double-digit rebounds with a long ways to go in this one. And knocked away, and then Tshiebwe with a bump on Jaquez.
Almost an effort foul.
But with 15:39 to go in the ball game, Kentucky has cut it to 2. A 9-3 opening 4 minutes for Kentucky's cut the lead down to 2 as we take a look at our fast analysis presented by AT&T 5G.
Cal's been looking for some help all over. Mentioned Ware and his contribution to the kick out. Livingston stepped up 9 points. He's provided them with a big-time lift. This little kick out, attack of the rim, mixing his game up. We said earlier that he has a nice little floater game, but that's why you have 12, 13 guys on the bench. If somebody doesn't play, you need somebody to give you a lift. And these two have, in particular, provided some solid contributions.
Biggest lead of this game was in the first half. UCLA led 33-20. And now it's been dwindled down to a single bucket.
So Jaquez and Campbell talking. At least the guys have been through the mill in terms of games, great communications with one another, and they're communicators with their teammates.
So it's Singleton and Clark and Jaquez and Campbell.
Running a back screen to get Jaquez in where he loves.
And with a hook shot is short, and the rebound is Ware again.
Great presence, Tshiebwe.
A chance to tie or lead for Kentucky. And blocking foul on Bona. That's his 3rd.
And it didn't have to. You just slide and let your teammate recover. And they're just yo-yoing the two bigs for that reason, those foul problems.
So bring in Nuba. He's got 3 also. So exchange one guy with 3 fouls for another.
They do an interesting thing. They put the big guy on the inbounder, and then they switch back to the proper matchup just to take away the vision.
And he had a tough pass just to get it into Ware. Livingston for the tie. Got it.
How about this kid? Goodness. Playing really solid basketball. Averaging 5 coming in. Good free throw shooter, too.
Got 11 right now. And he has tied things up at the 15-minute mark. Campbell trying to drive on Wheeler. Goes over the top and hits a big shot.
How about that? Can't say that too often about Campbell going over the top.
That's right.
The man had a Wheeler there.
Livingston's been the hot hand for Kentucky on the offensive end. They get it to him on the wing. Wheeler against Jaquez.
Nice
feeds
pass.
it to Tshiebwe.
But Tshiebwe bending over, creating space, and open up, dictating the proper pass. And Wheeler providing the lift with a terrific look into that low box area. It's just solid. Tshiebwe now just really digs in there. Just telling him what to do. Drop step. Put it in, big fella.
So Nuba picks up his 4th, and he goes out. Etienne comes back in. Tshiebwe to the free throw line to try to give Kentucky the lead. He has yet to hit a free throw. 0 for 3. Was shooting pretty well coming in. 79% up from 69 a year ago. And still looking for one. Tied at 40 with 14 and change remaining.
His offense doesn't bother him. He just keeps playing. Tshiebwe forcing the switch here, and they got what they want.
Campbell out on top. Ware trying to get a piece of the pass.
Back
to the mismatch. Jaquez on Wheeler.
There's that drop step. How good is he?
Oh,
I mean, he's magical.
Pretty move.
They got a flop. Yep, they got a flop as well. So they get a technical.
It's on Wheeler.
Yeah.
Here's another look.
How about this? I mean, this could really embarrass you. His footwork. Woo-hoo. You use him in Carnegie Hall.
There's Wheeler hitting the deck, and Jaquez going up, under, and around Tshiebwe. And Tiger Campbell goes to the free throw line.
88%.
Hasn't been there today. Acts like he has, though. So it goes from a tie game to a three-point game.
A point of interruption. Kentucky gets the ball back. Seeing less and less of it, don't you think, the flop?
Yeah. I mean,
they clean it up a little bit. You never want to flop on Broadway, by the way.
You could close in a hurry.
Exactly. Bad analysis.
Kentucky has fought their way back to get to this point. Now can they stay with it? Wallace.
Etienne, nice job checking out Tshiebwe. Nick wants a call to play.
As you said, he just had a look at Campbell, and Campbell knew. And then he yells to the other four on the floor.
And there's a mismatch again.
Jaquez against Tshiebwe when he finally got to the rack.
He's the one that slapped it back out. Oh, they had him.
Going right back to him. And the kick out. Three-pointer. Goes for Singleton.
What a player Jaquez is. Goodness. Jaime loading it up in the box there. A lot of guys with his special talent would use the footwork, but they'll find somebody better. Get him organized. Singleton, under it from deep.
Jonathan Jones, our NFL insider, is a North Carolina grad. Happy with the overtime comeback win in game one.
You know, James Brown, the first time I met him or saw him, we played Harvard here in the Garden. They were number 7 in the country. And he was some player.
He was some player.
Let me tell you, terrific basketball player and a great basketball announcer.
Wasn't Kenny Wolf on the same team?
I think he was, yes. Yep.
One became a great producer, one became a great broadcaster.
Bob
JB is up right now, possibilities Hall of Fame.
Oh, shouldn't be.
He's on the ballot. He's on the ballot.
He should be a definite pick. Etienne's really guarding.
Livingston 3. Yes.
This kid, he has arrived maybe.
I think so. He's got 14. That's a season and career high. And boy, when they needed it, he's come through.
With Etienne in the lineup, they've been moving him out and Jaquez in.
Jaquez against Ware, leans into him and hits the shot.
Boy, he gets people to bite. Boy, what a knowledgeable basketball player. Switched him out. Here, you know, he's got the bigger guy. He's going to bite, trying to do so many things well. Ware, and Toppin's going to come in for him, but just a heady performer with talent.
John Calipari has given a high five to Ware. He likes his effort and even his defense, but sometimes you just got a guy that's doing magical things, which is what Jaime Jaquez has been doing in the Garden here tonight.
And when you know you're hung out to dry, you know, it's like the exposure.
Two-time all Pac-12 player, has got 17, which is his average.
Yeah, they got 2 of them. Campbell's the same.
This has been the offense. This guy, number 24 for Kentucky. Can they find somebody else to help out?
Tshiebwe hasn't been a factor because of good little forceful defense. Etienne the last few trips.
Toppin over Jaquez. Nice shot. His first basket.
They need a lift from him on this end of the floor as well.
Campbell trying to lob it. Tshiebwe got in the way. Wheeler came up with a loose ball.
A nice D with the big hands.
Xavier waits for Tshiebwe to get back in the front court after hitting the deck on the other end playing defense. The crossover and the drive. Loose ball. Tshiebwe picks it up. Leaves it for Livingston. And it's all over the place right now.
Got a layup on the other end with the save.
Clark stuffs.
That's one of those saves. You got to know what you're doing. Even catching, go out of bounds.
Livingston working against Singleton. Up and got his own miss.
What a chase.
Wallace, 3. That's off the mark. Toppin, tough offensive rebound. And he's in trouble. And he goes up and over again, but Etienne gets a rebound on the miss.
Boy, some toughness that trip by UCLA.
Now, Tiger Campbell will just slow it down just for everybody to catch their breath a little bit.
He knows how to pull the plug, that kid. Oh, offense. Yep.
Jaquez, offensive foul.
He was getting set up for that drop step.
A little over 10 minutes remaining in the ball game. Toppin going right over the Grinch and his head coach. 51-45, midway point of the second half of Game 2 of the CBS Sports Classic. Thursday, we're giving the gift of ghosts with 5 back-to-back fan favorite episodes. Now's your chance to get hooked on the phenomenon. The Ghosts Viewers Choice Marathon is Thursday, beginning at 8:30, 7:30 Central on CBS. And the Grinch is still eating after having Toppin go over the top. This kid's getting more airtime than Jenny, you and I combined.
Deservedly so.
Yeah, and he's still hanging in there tough.
He was trying to help on that inbound save. Unfortunately for Toppin, led to a goal at the other end. That's one of those deals you got to throw it towards your own basket or just go out of bounds, fall out. You get your defense set.
Well, North Carolina trailed by 14, trailed by 11 in the second half, came back and won in overtime against Ohio State. Likewise, Kentucky was down 13 in the first half, down 9, beg your pardon, 8 at halftime. And at the midway point of the second half, they're still a 2-possession ball game with UCLA that's led pretty much throughout.
Reeves very active on the floor. Now give Livingston a little blow. Using those bumps on the baseline.
Wallace a kick out. Wheeler, extra pass over, and Reeves buries it. Big part is Toppin.
Good to see him get untracked a little bit.
Both his field goals have come in the last couple minutes. Jaquez.
Well, you're all alone out here. He can embarrass you.
Fade away. Got it.
They can just terrific understanding of the time and distance. What he can get away with.
19 for Jaquez. Reeves around a screen and to pick up his dribble.
You've been called Tshiebwe a lot, particularly this half. Etienne's helped him in that cause.
He's got it now.
Nice
a long
cut.
ways away from the basket.
Etienne almost comes up with it.
And tried a left-handed slam there. It didn't go. Comes free to Wheeler. Wheeler will drop it off again.
Charge on the pass. Wheeler going right.
It'll be 4, I think.
Trying to make a play. Pretty good presentation. How about that little attack at the rim? The big fella's strong and able to finish at the rim, but that unfortunately you leave the floor, you got some problems.
So Wheeler sits down and Livingston comes back in. So it's a taller Kentucky lineup. It's about all you can say. They don't have their point guard in there, but UCLA does. Tiger Campbell goes all the way to the free throw line and then backpedals at the 8.5-minute mark to get away from Tshiebwe and get around Tshiebwe.
Look at that stand-up. Jaquez in the middle of the play as well. They got a foul, too, over the top. Is that Tshiebwe?
I guess so.
Yeah,
it was.
But what a feel, what a pulse of the game that Tiger Campbell has. Oh, I think that should have been a jump ball, don't you think?
I thought so.
Got to get it in.
And they do to Singleton, who brings it back out on top to Clark.
Looking for Tiger to run the show. Always gets back to him. Look who's there. Doesn't get it, but gets a piece.
A great position to try to get the offensive rebound, but it's out of bounds to Kentucky.
Tireless, too. Okay.
So Case and Wallace running the point right now for the time being.
And Livingston on the floor again. See if he can get untracked as well.
Up and under and foul.
Hawkins number 3.
Picks up his third with just under 8 minutes to play. Take a look at the Jersey Mike's subs game summary. Too many turnovers for Kentucky, though they've cut it down a little bit in this half, but shooting only 40% to 49 for UCLA. Livingston's been a spark off the bench, but Jaime Jaquez has been sensational throughout for UCLA, coming off a win Wednesday over number 20 Maryland, and now they've got a lead with just under 8 minutes to go over number 13 Kentucky. This would be quite an East Coast swing if they can hold on to this.
Worth the train ride.
I think.
Livingston has been just a terrific performer thus far. See if we keep him going on that end.
Toppin at the line. All 5 of his points in this half.
All the reports he worked so hard on that outside shot in the offseason. It's gotten better, I think.
Tshiebwe somehow got an offensive rebound. Wallace lines up for 3. That's off the mark.
Well, that would have been big.
Campbell with Wallace on him. Wheeler on the bench for Kentucky.
Dribble drive here with the fancy footwork.
Against Toppin. The lead in again with the shoulder. 4 to shoot. Somehow
Wallace.
Campbell got a shot off.
Yeah, Wallace, great defense. Not a good set.
Campbell fell down. Wallace goes up. Didn't get the roll though. Tshiebwe gets the rebound, however. Up and underneath and blocked by Bona. And the Bruins coming the other way with Bailey. Bailey's fouled by Wallace.
Yeah, looking for the body search there. Initiate the contact. Pretty competitive on the glass.
If you missed our first game of the CBS Sports Classic at Madison Square Garden here in New York, it was a thriller. North Carolina came back and won in overtime. In this game, number 16 UCLA, number 13 Kentucky. UCLA has led the majority of the game, although Kentucky's gotten close a couple of times in this half. They've been unable to get back in front. They tied it at 40. It's the last time we were tied, and now it's a 53-48 lead with just under 7 minutes to go. Brad Nessler, Bill Raftery, Jenny Dell, our CBS crew here at the Garden. And we're under 7 minutes.
Really riding that ball screen, and Tshiebwe not able to load up in the lane because of excellent defense.
Reeves kicks it out. Wheeler on a little floater, short.
The string. Nice staying at home. Oh, a pretty good defender. Gonna get better on this end.
Campbell on the dribble against Wheeler, all the way around, trying to leave it inside for Bona. Tshiebwe comes up with the ball, and a foul will be on Bona, and that's going to be 4. 'Tis the season for streaming. Watch hit movies and series, festive classics, and live sports all winter long on Paramount Plus. Try it free.
One of the few mistakes by Campbell. Second turnover. He has a better feel. Mick doesn't keep anything in, does he?
No, absolutely not.
Let's Campbell know you're better than that.
Reeves for 3. Got it.
That's his game.
That's only his second field goal, but it's also his second 3, and it cuts it to 3.
That's what he signed up for. Nice cut.
Clark. Livingston got a piece of it. Tshiebwe got a piece of that one.
Pretty good D.
And it's still UCLA ball. And again, the third time, still no good. And a foul on Livingston.
Well, that's that toughness we talked about earlier for UCLA. They don't back off. Undeterred by terrific defensive plays. And this is the other end. Around the horn, a little nylon by Reeves, who can drill him, as you noticed. 48% from 3.
Jalen Clark at the free throw line, where he's 1 out of 2 today.
Pretty good shooter there, too, 67%.
Got the second.
You know, we always talk about who's tougher is going to win a game. I think this one is that plus who's going to play smarter.
5.5 to go.
They switched it out on Reeves.
Campbell on him, looking for a screen from Tshiebwe.
A defensive block. Yeah. Didn't have to do it.
And that one goes against Nuba.
I mean, that's it.
5,
right?
isn't it?
Yeah, not mistaken. Trying to do the right thing and just, you got the line as an extra guy. Just establish your defensive position. At the end, being asked to, I think he's played great defense, though, coming on the floor.
Yeah, he has. So Nuba's done. At the end comes in for him. And at the free throw line, the guy that just hit the big 3 the last trip down the court. Antonio Reeves, who's a star at Illinois State in the Missouri Valley Conference.
They say he takes up between 500 and 1,000 shots.
Needed 6,000 on that free throw.
Yeah. He says one of those teams that uses the clock well, too. They get something good early, they'll take it. Otherwise,
5 minutes.
1 to 10.
Jaquez might do his own thing here. Fade away over Toppin.
Oh, boy.
Almost went.
Look at this bounce at the end.
And he's fouled by Tshiebwe from behind.
He's been in the right spot, though, at the end. Toppin with excellent defense on that fadeaway. Forced the miss, and on that weak side, just loading up. Solid play. Etienne being in the right spot.
Redshirt freshman, New York native, and playing some solid minutes here.
Really hasn't played a whole lot of minutes. He's going to be fatigued. After 6 a game.
This is only the 5th free throw he's attempted. He's hit 3 of 4. Not there.
You've been killing these free throw shooters all day.
I'm not trying to.
You have set them up for their demise.
Back at the end, didn't get the other one either, and the rebound comes off to Livingston. Kentucky. Chance to cut it to 1 possession here. Wheeler thought about a shot. He'll take it. Got it.
Well, I don't know why they backed off. He's a pretty good mid-range shooter.
Down to 2.
Well, we've been blessed today, huh?
I guess.
That's what he does. Get him on the hip.
Forced one, and it went in.
They're just really so knowledgeable. Get you hung up on the ball screen.
Livingston, a 3. Toppin keeps it alive.
Well, Tshiebwe's got to be a little more active begging.
Reeves got a little crossover dribble on Bailey and now drives instead. Jaquez comes down off the backside with it and kept the ball alive.
Oh, you don't need it. What a catch and save.
And wisely, they bring it out. Amari Bailey says, Tiger, I'm going to hand off to you and let's use some clock.
Boy, that play by Clark was magnificent.
Campbell throws a shoulder into Reeves. Shot doesn't go. Tshiebwe clears it. Wheeler pushing it. Waits for his big fella to get down court. And that goes to him.
Nice
and
block.
Etienne, great defense.
How about this kid? Coming off a knee surgery last year.
Tshiebwe's got to be saying, where this guy comes from.
3 bigs rotating. That's why you keep practicing hard. Ooh, tough shot.
Jaquez bricks a 3. Wheeler brings it down for Kentucky. 4-point game, 2:45 to go. Toppin. Jaquez getting his hands in there defensively. Toppin on a hook.
Nice wall up. Etienne again.
Reeves deep 3. Etienne again, and now he's got his arm tangled up in there. And the foul's going to be on Livingston.
Well, he has been terrific, Etienne, huh? Yeah, the little guys, huh? Going to run the show, but this is Wheeler that gets the puppies organized within that line. And right now, the heady play. Get him on your hip. Deliver that knockdown punch. Tiger in the house. Loose.
From inside the Wildcats huddle, Coach Cal looking for full court pressure to finish this game. He's still talking up Antonio Reeves, telling him, be ready for your moment. It's coming when it matters the most. Guys, Coach hoping to see a strong fight from his team, telling them there is still plenty of time left in this game.
2:26 left. They've got 2 timeouts left. UCLA shooting 2 free throws the rest of the way.
In terms of full court pressure, he does like a 2-2-1. Full court, obviously, man. He's got the length to get after them.
They worked on it a lot yesterday at practice.
How about Etienne? Not scoring, but just a big-time contributor.
And he's back at the free throw line. Where he missed his 2 previous attempts.
Sort of wishing him up there. Bend the knees, big fella.
He's going, it's easy for you to say, Bill, I got a big brace on this one knee.
Yeah, that's part of the issue as he makes his comeback.
There we go. First point in the scorebook, but he's had an effect on the game.
Livingston time or Reeves time? Let's see.
Kentucky's missed their last 5.
Wallace, excuse me. Reeves is not on the floor.
I'd get it in Livingston's hands.
Get a good shot. Kentucky get offensive rebound.
Wheeler.
There you go.
Tshiebwe, offensive rebound. The kick out, he threw it away. But it comes free to Wallace.
That was Wheeler that forced that turnover.
Fresh opportunity for the Wildcats. We're under 2 minutes. Livingston spins into a double team and drew a foul.
Could be Campbell. Not sure. Clark off on the top side. Well, Clark is so good reaching in there with 2 hands and grabbing hold.
So a 14-point game for Chris Livingston. His season high and looking to add to it from the free throw line.
Clark only has 2.
Chris Livingston at the line for Kentucky, shooting 1 and 1.
12 for 13 coming in today, 92%.
Needed that one.
Yeah, they're going the other way. Toppin over the back.
Kentucky 0, Jalen Toppin, his second.
Toppin picks up his second foul.
UCLA is in the double bonus.
And 2 shots coming up on the other end for the Bruins.
And just see here on the checkout. Yeah, just that little body bump, unnecessary.
So the foul on 0 on one end. 0 goes to the free throw line on the other end.
2 shots.
2 out of 4 so far for Jalen Clark from the stripe. Both teams leaving some at the free throw line right now.
Sure are. Mick, you know, looking at him, you know how tough he is, obviously, and demanding. But he has a great sense of humor. He's not going to exhibit it right now, obviously.
No,
but
have to wait on that.
Yeah.
Still a 2-possession game, though. 1:50 to go. Wheeler almost lost the handle on that handoff. Toppin, 3. Nope.
A little bit of a panic stroke, I think.
And UCLA comes out of the rebound.
They'll use time now, particularly with this guy at the helm.
John Calipari wants to get Reeves back out there for his 3-point shooting, but right now it's Tiger Campbell's ball game to use as much clock as possible, and then breeze by. Tshiebwe didn't get it.
Almost. Look at Tshiebwe motored up.
And now Kentucky trying to hurry down. Livingston on the drive, up under. Tshiebwe had the rebound and lost it to Bona, who says,
How about that possession?
We're under a minute.
No hurry. You step up and help, and he turns the corner. He'll find somebody. Quick timeout.
Didn't know there was this many UCLA fans in here, but the chants of UCLA ringing around the Garden with 49.8 to go. Our game reset. 6-point lead. UCLA ball. Under Mick Cronin for 3.5 years. He's in his 4th season. When UCLA has held an opponent under 65 points, they're 56-2. Kentucky would love to get to 65 points right now. It's not going to happen.
No, not at all. They are based or predicated, at least philosophically, on the defensive end. And then when you've got a guy at the point that is in a total extension, as Campbell is, with Mick, you know, you can really do some things. You can operate in such a positive fashion.
Clock to inbound. Jaquez.
10 or less.
Kicks it back out. Campbell fakes the shot and then goes in for the little teardrop off the window. Just to top things off for his day.
Well, the 2 guys that mean so much to this program. Jaquez patient, gave it out.
Reeves. Wallace trying to get rid of it. Over to Toppin. Short. Got his own miss.
Nice steal.
Say goodnight. Clark will finish things off on the other end.
Wow. So aggressive on the defensive end. That kid jumping past the lanes is one of the best you'll see. Number 0.
Wallace. Anything for Kentucky is going to be too little, too late. And UCLA is going to be 10-2, and they're going to enjoy their trip out east and enjoy their trip back home.
If I were Mick, I would take the train to LA and enjoy that trip.
Well, what a performance by UCLA. We said they were well-rounded, and they have been again today. The number 16 team picks off the number 13 team. And while Kentucky made it close at times, they could never get it back. They got it to a 2-point game. They tied it up at one point. But UCLA wins it going away by 10. Final score 63-53. Tonight on CBS starts with Fire Country. Back-to-back editions of 48 Hours. For Bill Raftery, Jenny Dell, our entire CBS crew, Brad Nessler saying so long from New York City. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports, home to the 2023 Men's National Championship.